Yes. Good evening, everyone. This is Pine Grove News Live. Well, I just played 10 minutes of music, and music bar was not even on. That's okay. That's all right. I hope everyone's doing okay. It's 6 o'clock on the dot here, and we will go to PGN Live and check our live stream, and it's up and running. I hope everyone. And well, I want to say welcome to the East Coast. Current weather conditions 59 and sun is shining. Not bad, not bad. I had a little rain this morning, and tomorrow's going to be 53, and I don't know what Sunday's going to be. Stays in the 40s the rest of the week. So get a little extended winter there. So I don't know what you all think, man. Are we actually in the time of deception, the great delusion? I mean, are we there? It certainly feels like we are there. All right, I have to go look at and get this our Fair Use Act up and running. Yeah, there it is. Let's put it out there so everyone can see it, and it's on the video in the beginning, and we're all good. All right. So let me bring you update. Okay. Charles came out, last night and did some news because there was pretty much some pretty exciting turns and twists that were happening yesterday. I don't know, you probably already know, but the stock market, hit its record low in history when they dived almost 10%, 2,352 points, whatever, down. But hey, no worries, because today it hit another day in history for the stock market on the upside, hitting 1900 plus. So I don't know, there's your elite playing games with the stock market, because that's what it is to me. It's just a gambling game, Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme type thing for the elite. And we can all join in if we want to. If we want to throw away our money, go ahead. Go ahead. I actually, I had at one time, or was going to get, before the president stole all the money in the 401k that we had at work. That was the closest I ever came to being in the stock market. I really wish I had money when, I had this idea to go and buy some stock in 3D printing. When I suggested to my friends who were looking, and they didn't take my advice. Of course, I'm just, I'm a nobody. I really am. Just nobody. I've never succeeded in life with anything. Did get married and still married for 39 years now, but that just takes a lot of patience, and I thank the Lord for that. So a lot of crazy things. I mean, the only time, people get on the news if they're celebrities and they've got the coronavirus, right? Tom Hanks was in the news, supposedly, I don't know what he was complaining about. He was complaining about something, somewhere along this trip, some peon, touched me, and they ended up having the coronavirus. So he's got it. I don't know if his wife's got it, but they're in Australia, and maybe that's even how it started in Australia. Who knows? Who knows? So, I mean, and then they were talking about, on the news today, they were talking about the deaths in the United States from this coronavirus, which, people, I just keep saying, pay attention, use your discernment. Why would they want to track this virus? In any case, I believe it's 37 in the United States. Of course, no, I got this. What am I talking about? Yeah, that's confirmed is 1,268. That's updated today. I don't want to switch the screen yet, but I thought I heard earlier today that it was 37 that have died in the U.S. 29 of those people have come from one place. And you all should know where that place was, up in Washington. Apparently in a nursing home. 29 people in a nursing home. I remember when it was 9, and that was, feels like just a few days ago, but 29 now in a nursing home. Talking about the age now. Pay attention to the age. People that are dying, what their age are. I mean, Will Watchford, everything that I say, this guy calls me and disagrees with everything I say. If I say, yeah, it's mainly this virus, it's obvious. I mean, that it is affecting a certain age group, right? And obviously, and we mentioned here before that, other people have received it, have gotten it as well. And I don't know if they died. Yeah, maybe died too. And I was told by World Watch, well, they had an 18-year-old and a 33-year-old. I just saw in an article. Yeah, first of all, it's a couple weeks old, but yeah, there are other people who will die from it too because of their autoimmune systems. They're not completely healthy. There's something, that's going on there that this virus will take advantage of. So in any case, so with that, Trump came on, I guess it was about 3:30. I know he was supposed to come on at 3, but I think it was around 5 or 10 after 3 that I actually gnawed off for a minute and woke back up a little after 3:30, I guess, to hear him. But in any case, he declared a national emergency. Okay, this is what he came on to do. Invoking the Stafford Act to open the door to more federal aid for states and municipalities, according to 2 people familiar with the matter. So we're going to go look up and we'll learn more about this Stafford Act. Okay, I don't know anything about it right now. This is actually the first time I've looked at this article, really, because I've seen him on TV and I know that he came out and said that. Basically, what it all is, people, is more government control. This is their medical martial law. Okay, are you not seeing it around you? They are mandating states, municipalities, places, towns you live in. They're telling you that you can only they're canceling schools for at least 2 weeks on and going. They've canceled sports events. The NBA canceled its season. The NCAA, which is college basketball, canceled all their March Madness and their playoffs for the college. And not that matters, but because it's supposedly a nonprofit organization and they don't pay any of our taxes or anything. They don't contribute, same as the NFL. But in any case, and it's just been snowballing. I mean, these other, I don't know what you call them, elected officials, they're telling, people, especially in New York, they're telling them that you can't be at events at 500 or more. But with 500 and under, yeah, then you can, it's okay, to go shoulder to shoulder. I mean, where's the sensibility in that? There is none. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, except to impose more restrictions on you as a government. They're just letting you know that they can do this, and they are doing it. I think this is a practice run. Maybe it's the real thing. I mean, obviously, it's, the coronavirus is real, but I'm saying the event that we're all supposed to be waiting for. I don't know. It's not aliens anymore. They seem to be talking a lot less about them. But I'm telling you, there are people that are so fearful about this stuff, and they're canceling weddings, they're canceling bar mitzvahs. They're just these people are crazy. Are you not paying attention? Even the mainstream media is coming out and telling you the age group that's dying from this. And we're all going to end up probably getting anyway. That's what they made over there, whether it was in China or whether it was released here to China. I don't know. China's blaming us and whatever, and they're going to, supposedly stop sending over our meds. So, you think it's crazy now. Wait till you stop getting your medications from China. Yeah, folks, our enemy, our supposed communist brothers, comrades, okay, over there in China, actually make your medicine. And you wonder why they put these very scary side effects on the commercials, on the paperwork that comes with the medicines. And a lot of times, it says that you can even die, but people take them just to get rid of those symptoms. And China makes them for you. So you tell me that we are letting, first of all, 60% of the stuff that we get, and I think it's a lot more than that, of the things we use in this country right now, throwaway items, we get from China, our supposed enemy. No, folks, it's just a stage, as I was saying before, man. It's all a big stage, and they're all playing their part. And every once in a while, somebody gets offended, jilted, or whatever, and makes a big fuss, or it's their turn to make a fuss, however that works. But they're all in it together. They've all been, they all know what's coming. Jesus Christ, and so let's see what else we got in the news here. Oh yeah. So the Democrats, they're trying to pass this emergency bill. Okay, that's what this national emergency is for, to release these funds immediately so that they can be used for fighting the coronavirus. And for, guess what? Okay, bailouts. Your money is being used for more bailouts, of which they are causing. They're telling people, they're cut your businesses in half. I mean, if you normally have 100 people in your bar during the night, only let 50 in. And they're doing this with a lot of businesses. And you don't think that that's going to hurt small businesses? Of course it's going to hurt them. And why? For what? For some, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Come on, man. Think for yourself. Doesn't make any sense, except they're trying, it seems like, until the stock market went back up, almost 2,000 points again today. But that was the second time in a week and a half that it has gone up considerably to try and recoup the losses. But we're still at a loss, overall. Yeah, you start telling these businesses to cut your product in half. You can only have half of the production line going. You can't have 100% because there's too many people and somebody's going to get sick. Yeah, they're not going to die, but they're going to get sick. Everyone gets sick. Yeah, sorry, people. This is a virus that was, tampered with and made specifically to spread very fast and only target certain people. And it is. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me it's not targeting certain people. And then these bailouts. Now we're going to have to bail out these businesses who are losing, 50 people per night, say in this bar. We're going to have to pay them to make up the difference. What are they going to think that they're going to get it? You think I got 4 or 5 things coming out of my paycheck right now. I guarantee you they're going to come up with another thing. They've already come up with this leave for fathers. When his wife has a baby, maternity leave, and that comes out of my check. Why do I have to pay for it? Maybe he, should be paying out of his paycheck with some type of insurance that somebody can start up, you know? Why does it have to come out of everybody's check? And they're in a spending frenzy. They're in a take as much money as they can from you type deal. And what a way to do that, right? Can't let a crisis go to waste, right? So, yeah, declaration of state of emergency, New York. That was yesterday. Then we had a couple people come out and talk about this, and people are saying, yeah, feels like the end times. Got that again. Let's see. Yeah, oh, yes, and get this one. NASA even canceled, they were supposed to have some kind of Mars missions, okay, and dealing with, I guess they're working with other countries or something along this to get vehicles and or eventually manned to Mars, and so they're canceling that this year. It's just funny. That part is funny. Now all of a sudden you can't get NASA together, you know, with the full complement of the people there. It's just so outrageous. It's just so, I mean, can't we see this, what's going on? Somebody comment. Am I the one that's delusional, and am I seeing something else and something totally different's going on? Please let me know. I will stop. I don't think that I'm delusional. I'm sure the other people who I think are delusional think that they're not delusional either. Running amok, collecting and fighting over toilet paper. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, it's called a half occupancy order. Yep. And a lot of places here in Connecticut are doing that, and here in the East Coast. Yep, half occupancy order. It's just crazy. They're purposely tanking this economy. And how he's going to stand there and say that, we're doing so much more in so many categories than we have ever done, and we're just more, we're just much better than we were, 3 years ago, than we ever were. And yet we have this one that's totally dismantling the whole thing at once. And maybe it has something to do with the elections. Who knows? Because that's right around the corner too, right? I mean, even, the Democratic, I don't know what you call them, delegates, whatever, nominees, I don't know what you call them, Biden and Sanders. Still looking forward to that Sunday debate. That should be very funny to watch. And I mean that seriously. It should be a regular night out of town, comedic event. But in any case, I don't know where I was talking, but it's just crazy. Oh yeah, and so let's get into what Pelosi and the Democrats tried to do last night when they tried to. I don't know if they passed it or not, or even brought it to the Republicans for review. And Republicans are not sure whether they should sign it or not. But apparently, Pelosi and the Democrats put in this bill that is just supposed to be for the relief of this coronavirus, helping these small businesses once they lose half their patrons, or people who have been laid off because of this. I agree with those things. Or extended unemployment for people who are still out. I mean, this is going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to, in many industries. I mean, just canceling what they were calling the NCAA. That's the college basketball things. This is how much it's going to hurt. It's not the basketball players, because they got to go to school and they play basketball while they're there. But you're talking about all the vendors who supply this event. Hot dogs, hamburgers, beer, soda, whatever, all stuff like that. There's not going to be anybody there. Nobody's going to get paid for that, because it's not going to happen. And, I mean, look at all the same thing with all the other, the NBA and the NHL. I mean, it's just crazy. So everyone just, yeah, shelter in place. Don't come out of your home. That's what they want. They want you all confined to your home. I don't know what they're planning. And maybe we should be really just looking around and seeing the other things that are going on. So again, Pelosi tries to put in this bill funds to support Planned Parenthood for abortion, and that's my tax money, and that's what they'd be using your tax dollars to fund abortions in these Planned Parenthood clinics. And so she tried to get that through. And another thing she tried to get through is an extended or more food stamps for all. She tried to throw that in there too. So I don't know what happened about that. I'm not really paying attention to that part of it yet because that's just another sideshow. In any case, so that's what they try to get through, and the Republicans are not going to let that go through. I know they have to probably bend on some things, but why don't we have the final say? Yeah, it's because what we voted our people who we think are going to speak for us, and once they get there and they get whatever corrupted, then they just no longer are for you. They're for them, and that's how that works. So in the meantime, let's go look at this, okay? Let's look at the figures one more time before we get going and move on to other things. So this was today the 13th. I don't know if I still have that. Okay, so this was yesterday. What is going on? What did I just do? I always hit the wrong button. All right. So that was yesterday, 127. U.S. Total confirmed 1323. And what do we have today? 1323. Well, today we only have 1,268. So how did that come? Must be something I'm doing wrong. So let's go. That's today, which is the 13th, at 1,268. And this was yesterday at 1323. So yeah, something definitely wrong in the calculations here, because yesterday was actually more confirmed than today. Let's go back one more day. And that's when it was at 1,110. I don't know, strange. I'm glad I noticed that. Something's going on with the statistics here, so we may have to go into multiple places next time. And yeah, so yeah, you got to take America down, but there are other countries too. All right, let's move on to National Guard arrives in New Rochelle to contain the virus cluster. How is the National Guard, a military unit, going to contain the corona's cluster? The only thing you can think of, right? They're going to shut down the town. They're going to shut down Rochelle, New York. Nobody's going to be able to come in. Nobody's going to be able to leave. In the meantime, it doesn't matter. It's airborne. At least that's what they're saying today. It could remain airborne for 3 hours and on a surface for 3 days. But you hear varying stories of hours and minutes from everybody. And there's not one, even from the CDC. It changes all the time. Just crazy trying to follow it. But yeah, the only thing the National Guard is going to do, and they show you on mainstream media because it's just ridiculous. But on mainstream media, the National Guard is passing out food. Okay, I guess that's because the people can't leave to go get food, and so they brought the food with them. I guess that is what's going on. Otherwise, yeah. So here's your medical martial law. Yes. Schools shut down, places of worship shut down. Yeah, they got one place. All these Christians shutting it down. I think it's in Italy, but we'll just go a little quicker here. Italian couple. This is a pretty, well, it's kind of a sad story, but it's also one that is okay too, because this couple been together for 60 years. Now, I seen some guy live the other day doing an interview. He was married 58 years. He lost count. I don't know how his wife let him get away with that, but yeah, he didn't know. Somebody in the background said 58. But anyways, this couple, Italian couple, 60 years, they have passed away from this coronavirus. But, you know, God was in it because they passed within 2 hours of each other. I mean, to be together for 60 years and then next thing you're living without that person. Thank God it was only 2 hours, because it would just be hell on earth. I mean, hell in every sense of the word, to have that person all of a sudden gone. I mean, that's just like Jesus, things that he gave up when he came to this earth. He gave up all his riches and his standing in heaven to come to earth. He was always with the Father. Always. Can you try to think about that for a minute? He gave up his standing up in heaven, his position, always with the Father. No beginning, no ending, that type thing. And then he came here to be with us, to show us the way, and to die for us so that we can be saved from our sinful nature. That's what he did. Every time I think about that, and at Passover, and I think about what he gave up to come down here and do for us. Talk about agape love, and that's what that is. God's love. It's not our love. But little by little, we get to understand what agape love is, a little bit of it anyway. We probably couldn't handle the full amount of the love that our Father and Jesus and the Holy Spirit has for us. So I just had to tell that story. So yeah, a complete shutdown on the table and warns the crisis could last 2 months. Well, people, I heard them, of course I listen to, when I get a chance, the half-hour of my lunch in my car on the radio, at this Rush Limbaugh show. And just happened to catch, and I've heard it from other places too. It's going to last a lot more than 2 months. I know we've said here on this broadcast that, maybe it's a seasonal thing. Maybe it'll die out, when it gets warmer outside. And some of these flus and influenzas do at least, slow down considerably until the fall again. But there's a lot of people saying, yeah, I mean, the way this thing is contagious and the way it's spreading, no, this could go on, some people say, as much as 2 years. And the least amount would be a little under a year, with trying to make the vaccine and cure, supposedly. It's not a cure, it's just, in any case, a vaccine that you're going to take. That's why they're setting everything up. That's one of the reasons. They can't get you to take a universal vaccine unless you're shut down and it's mandatory, and they got the army there, okay, pointing guns at you. Yeah. At that point, I guess, unless they, ask you to renounce Jesus, I would just take the vaccine and pray on it. The Lord's not going to have that be of any effect. Not in you. Yeah, so let's see. Europe is now the center of the coronavirus pandemic. Death toll has passed 5,000. And that's total. They make this sound like it's just over there in Europe, the 5,000, but that's total for everywhere. It's, it's still quite a bit, but like we said, we've had other flus and other viruses go out there that, dengue fever, we put out there a couple days ago. The way that it's going, I mean, they've already surpassed the deaths that have already occurred from this coronavirus. But do they follow them? No. Because you know what? That would be a lot more scarier. It actually would. You'd see a heck of a lot more people dying. In this case, with the corona, the COVID-19, and apparently the other strain is called NCH, somebody put out there today. I don't know what the heck that means, but in any case, let's move on. First death from COVID-19 in Georgia. That was yesterday. Most of the stuff is from yesterday that I was going to come out and do, but I don't know. Do not know why I did not. Because there was some, very important, pertinent information, and that was first of all the stock exchange, how it dropped, and and they're basing our whole world economy on the stock market, and that's what I don't get, or at least they're telling you that whatever happens in the world is influenced by and or to the stock market. That's what they want you to believe, but don't you believe it. This one also from 911. First coronavirus death in Kansas. Governor declares state of emergency. I don't know. I think I was watching yesterday, reading something. There are quite a number of states. I think there are 22 states now that are under a state of emergency, and I have not followed up on that, but I will go check that too. I'll write that down as well. States in emergency. So I got to go look up the Stafford Act and the state of emergency. The states. Yeah, so at least 39 people in the United States have died from the virus. So I was, on point there anyway. Yeah. So Kansas, Georgia, Louisiana, now the first state to postpone its primary due to the coronavirus. Yeah. Stop doing that stuff in public that they do. Arizona declares state of emergency. So there's 4 places right there that I found just, today. So with that, I'm just going to go through these last few articles quickly. We still got this thing going on in Iraq. U.S. launches airstrikes against multiple Iranian-backed militia sites in Iraq. They have not attacked Iran, and they're really not planning to. At least that's the hubbub. That's what Trump says he's not going to do. But just like Israel, we're not going to go and directly attack Iran, just their people in other countries that are, these militia groups that are actually, fighting Americans or fighting Israelis through other countries. And I have no problem with that. They've killed some of our service men or women. And this is kind of funny too. So here, Holocaust denying Grand Ayatollah okays by an Israeli cure for the coronavirus. Yeah, so he'll deny all that, and probably prays every day, or at least 3 or 4 times a day, that Israel gets wiped off the face of the map. Okay, but as if they have the cure to stop this coronavirus, we'll definitely take it from them. Yeah. That's just, human nature at its worst. And, I'm not going to go into this except to say, they have, I'll leave this. This is from Now the End Begins, very popular. You can go there if you want to go to this. Let's get to the headline. The dazed and bewildered Joe Biden is whisked away by his handlers as he starts spouting nonsensical answers to reporters' simple questions. Yeah, this guy is not all there, man. So I don't know what they're doing, or he's doing, or the Democratic Party letting him do it. to run for president. It's him and Sanders. I'm telling you, there's a plan somewhere along this line. Because if he ever gets in a debate against Trump, Joe Biden, and him, if he ends up being the nominee for the Democratic Party, he'll probably end up either getting hurt or dying. I don't know. I don't think he could handle Trump's. And of course, they'll probably blame it on Trump and not probably impeach him for hate speech or something like that and jail him. There's always something. Now, I'm sure that they've got think tanks that are thinking just like that, and in multiple other levels that I cannot do. Yeah, he has been. I listened to a couple of these clips. You know about the one from the Michigan Fiat Chrysler assembly plant, where he did say he was going to take away guns, and then the guy, quoted him as saying that, and just an argument saying that he didn't say it, which he did. And then, this one right here that I watched. I mean, why does he say that Sanders joined Trump? Sanders most definitely did not join Trump. But that's what he says in here. It's just, I guess let's.
Temperament with voters that you don't agree with, sir?
Vice President, on the coronavirus, they're both targeting you over this exchange this morning with the voter about guns. Any regrets about how you handled it?
Well, I'm surprised that Sanders is joining Trump.
It's just surprising. I'm surprised that Sanders is joining Trump. And all these people have to say is, why did you...
Was it appropriate? Thank you.
Why did you swear or something at the worker? That was inappropriate. Anyways, there's a lot of this world is, all I can say is, come Lord Jesus. I'm just so fed up with this. This is obviously all being taken over and people by demonic entities. And because of the moral decay in this society, it is very easy for these demonic entities to do so. They're just letting them do it. Yeah, and so this is one just confirming that she tried to sneak this taxpayer-funded abortion into the emergency bill, okay, with other things. I mean, this is another one. I don't know. That's all I got to say about that. So with that, everyone, God bless you. It's Friday. Thank God I did not go to work today. I woke up an hour late. Something's going on with my alarm clocks on both the phones that I use. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. They have not been working. On one phone, it works for a day, and then they don't work. So I've been struggling with this for like a week and a half now of getting up late. I mean, I have my internal clock, but, it's somewhere within that hour, but it's not the minute that I want it to be up. I don't like to get up and dress and have my coffee in 15 minutes and leave. I just can't do that. I need at least a half hour, 45 minutes. In any case, I'm looking for an alarm clock, one that preferably, works. God bless everyone. Lift each other up. This is a very trying and depressing time. Just support each other and look out for your family. Now, I know you can't select your family, but they are your family and pretty important. God bless everyone and peace out.